Hey guys, good morning from Union Market, where I like to get food. We're going to start the day with a sandwich over at A Lettieri, the Italian deli up here. It's next to this giant wholesale souvenir shop. You know, all those guys who sell stuff on the mall, they come up here to buy their t-shirts and hats and whatnot, and then they resell them for a markup down on the National Mall. Let's go into the Italian deli. It's a pretty boring day today. We got a press briefing at the White House, but I'm not sure I'm going to attend. I don't know if I need to take pictures of her, because I've taken so many pictures of her so far. I don't know what they're going to be talking about anyway. Let's focus on our lunch. I have a bit of wine here. Quite a bit of Italian food. Hey, ordered online, Andrew. Roast beef and turkey. Yep, thank you. They have fresh stuff here too, from the Little Italy in Baltimore. They bring it down. Let's grab a soda, maybe some chips. What do they, salt and vinegar today? All right, that was our sub. Sub sandwich and chips was about $16. We got a foot-long sandwich, which cost extra. Normally, like a 6-inch is only like $7, but I want to savor the moment by making the sandwich longer. All right, let's go eat this sucker. Okay, we got our sub. Let's take a look at what we got today. Roast beef and turkey, for those who are wondering. Ooh, it's really yummy. Bread is really soft. It's soft bread. So good, so good. Hey, so some of you eagle-eyed people asked me the other day, what is it you have hanging from your dashboard, from the rearview mirror? Well, it's Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, it's kind of a daily reminder not to take life too seriously. Yeah. Okay, guys. So we were being nice and we ran the other half of my sandwich to my wife's office. We're gonna probably run over to the White House. The reason is, yeah, we'll take a couple pictures of the press secretary, but it's always a chance that the Easter Bunny might come to the press briefing and bring candy. Because in the past, they've given us candy on the Easter briefing, and, well, maybe today we get some more candy. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay, guys, we have abandoned the car. We have dropped off half of the sandwich with my wife because, well, she's hungry. And now we're pedaling over from Georgetown to downtown DC. Today is not a day to drive in downtown DC. It is the annual spring meetings, or whatever it is this spring, of the World Bank and the IMF. So traffic is kind of blows, to be honest. So this week, the foreign ministers and lots of other finance people from around the world are meeting in Washington, DC to discuss the state of the world, the state of the economy, etc. Many of them have diplomatic immunity or are driving around in vehicles that have diplomatic immunity, which means they're double and triple parked downtown without fear of a traffic ticket, which is, well, pretty annoying, to be honest. So we're on a bike. It's the only way to move around. All right, this bike, by the way, doesn't have any brakes. At least it has one brake. I think the other brake is kind of busted. So if we hit a car, that's probably why. That, by the way, is the Spanish embassy right there. They have that beautiful building in the back, surrounded by all the old townhouses up front. They saved the general look and feel, but they have a modern building. In front of us is GW Hospital. That's the emergency room. That's kind of where Ronald Reagan was taken. It was actually in that building over there at the time. But Ronald Reagan was brought here when he was shot. There's a bike rack. We're going to get rid of this bike so we don't die. And there's no spots to dump this one. All right, keep going. Hear those brakes? Boy, they suck. So we're puddling around campus. We're at 24th and H Street Northwest. I've pointed this out a few times in the past, but this is the center of the world. Yeah, you see, back in the days before we accepted the Greenwich Meridian, we had the American Meridian, which was our dividing line between basically the Western Hemisphere and the Eastern Hemisphere. And that ran right here. This is the center of the Earth, at least for a couple decades. All right, let's go find a new bike. So we're pedaling around the campus of George Washington University. Lots of students out and about. It's a really nice day. It's in the 80s, I would say. Let's swing down this road where we're not supposed to go, but bicycles can because it's a 2-lane bike route. Just can't go here if you're a car. All right, there's a bike rack up ahead. Let's go dump this bike. Find one that will not kill us. Hopefully, maybe. So down here is Engine Company 23 and Ambulance 23. They have a very old fire station, yeah, and it can just barely fit these modern fire trucks into that old fire station. It's got like 6 inches of clearance at best on both sides. It's a problem when you have a lot of historic firehouses and these new fire trucks are just bigger and bigger. And once again, the bike rack is full. Can't drop this bike. Oh well, I'll have to find another one. All right, trucks pretending that the bike lane is actually an extra parking lane, which it is not. I don't know how he got over here. He must have just ran over all these little things. All right, here's a new bike rack. Let's dump this bike. And that's where we're at the White House. We might as well just not go biking anymore. We'll go walk inside and then we'll do some other stuff. See, I told you, no brakes. Ah! Come on, sometimes they just don't lock. One more try. There we go. That was annoying. Yeah, it's sprinkler day out here on the north lawn. Watering the grass. We are making our way in. It just looks like they just mowed the lawn, to be honest. Ooh, it smells like that way too. So we're gonna go into the press gallery, probably set up in the back today, just because we probably can't get up to the front. We only got like 15 minutes before the press conference starts and we're probably packed full already. Let's make our way inside.
Information on the system that is specifically for classified and sensitive information.
The thoughts and prayers of the entire White House remain with all of the Catholics around the world who are mourning the death of Pope Francis. Pope Francis touched millions of lives and dedicated his life to serving the Catholic Church. As a mark of respect for his memory, President Trump ordered flags be flown at half-staff, and he will be traveling to attend his funeral in Rome. The President will depart from Washington on Friday morning and return to the United States on Saturday evening following the funeral service. I can also confirm the dates of the President's trip to the Middle East. He will travel to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates from May 13th until May 16th. And on Thursday of this week, President Trump will welcome Norwegian Prime Minister at the White House for a working visit. The two leaders will discuss trade and regional security. This will be the 13th head of state visit of President Trump's term already. Today, ABC News photojournalist Melissa Young is retiring after 44 incredible years on the job, covering the White House. So congratulations to you, and we hope you enjoy retirement. And everybody else in the room will be very jealous of you as you're enjoying your rest. All right, let's get to it. We have an individual in our new media seat today. His name is Tim Pool. He's a political commentator and a media entrepreneur with millions of followers, a very big platform. Currently hosts Timcast IRL, a daily news and discussions show, and The Culture War, a weekly podcast exploring cultural and political issues. And frankly, that's why we've seen a smear campaign against the Secretary of Defense since the moment that President Trump announced his nomination before the United States Senate. Let me reiterate, the President stands strongly behind Secretary Hegseth and the change that he is bringing to the Pentagon, and the results that he's achieved thus far speak for themselves.
Okay, guys, we have finished the press conference, and now it's time to ride a bike around and look for trouble. Not much going on today, so let's go check out the mall, the Ellipse, see what's new. Keep an ear towards the radio in case something breaks. But right now all we got is a brush fire in northeast. That's usually just a trash can on fire. Not worth racing over there. Let's watch my ellipse. Oh, so the Big Red 1 is up. I always guys tell you, the Big Red 1 is the 1st Division of the U.S. Army Memorial, and every year they put up red tulips in the shape of a giant number 1 in front of the Big Red 1's memorial. And here you can see, sort of. That's the Big Red 1. So about 2-3 weeks a year you can actually see a Big Red 1 here when they have red flowers out here. But that's a memorial to the 1st Division of the U.S. Army, known as the Big Red 1, because their patch had a big red number 1 on the side. All right, let's go out onto the ellipse. So yesterday there were like 30,000 kids out here. This was the initial screening area for all the kids coming to the White House Easter egg roll. It's a lottery. They set a set number the Park Service says they can handle per day. I don't know how many tens of thousands they had, 30,000, 40,000, something like that. It is a logistical nightmare. It's made possible by a lot of volunteers, a lot of donations. National Egg Council, I think, donated 30,000 eggs or something like that. Something crazy. There's the black ambulance. That's not the Hammer unit. That's an actual ambulance. That's usually on the south lawn, but I guess they moved it out here because of the Easter egg roll thing. There's some tents still up from the Easter egg roll. They're taking down some tents over there. Can't really see much with the tents up. They're kind of blocking the view over the White House. Oh well, we've seen it. Let's come across. Try not to get hit by a tourist. Surprised these traffic cones don't get lifted. They all got a little White House logo on it. All right, there's an ambulance over at the Department of Commerce. Probably just somebody had a bad lunch. It's not more of that. This is the Boy Scout Memorial, which has always kind of hit me as a little bit odd because there's basically a Boy Scout and there's like a naked dude walking behind him. It's kind of strange. Anyway, this is a memorial to the Boy Scouts of America. And like most fountains in DC, it doesn't actually work. Actually, the mayor wrote to Donald Trump saying, if you really want to beautify DC, why don't you get all the federal fountains to actually work? Because there's a whole bunch of these fountains that are just dead. And there's really no plans to get them operational again that anyone has seen. Okay, let's head over to the National Mall, see what's going on there. There's the big stick, AKA the Washington Monument. Let's see if we get the top. There's the top. It's a nice day out today. The flags are at half-staff. President Trump ordered federal flags at half-staff in honor of the Pope. They just told us he's going to the funeral, leaving Friday morning and coming back Saturday. I'm not sure if he's going to go back to New Jersey, though. Originally he was supposed to go to New York for the weekend and then off to Bedminster. So he might just fly back to New York and spend a day there. Well, it just dropped. Hang on a second. Something just went to click. There's a bottle cap. I ran over a bottle cap. It sounded like something fell out of my bag. And we got one kite flying. It's actually a great place to fly kites. Let's go down to the Lincoln Memorial. We haven't been down there in a while. Vendors, a fake monk, all of them busking for money. Cones are out for the upcoming kickball games and softball games that'll take place tonight. There's a big league of congressional offices, lawyers, lobbyists, federal employees, and they have this all-city league where they play softball and kickball out here on the National Mall. All the dues from that program goes to fund children's sports programs in DC, which is kind of nice. So the kids can play for free, and all the yuppies pay for it. All right, this is the World War II Memorial with all the states and territories having a little marker around the outside. This fountain does work. It's just turned off right now because we're just now getting back into spring. And down here is the reflecting pool. I just saw Forrest Gump earlier today. It was on TV, the scene where Jenny comes out. Forrest! Oh, baby ducks! Oh, baby ducks are out, guys. Let's go find a good group of baby ducks. Those are pretty big. There's probably a bunch down here. This is baby duck season. Unfortunately, most of the baby ducks don't make it. Now, along the side here, you see these little ramps. These are literally baby duck ramps. It's to help the baby ducks follow the mother out of the reflecting pool and back into the grass. So they have these little, basically duck ramps. Here's one. All along the side. I don't really see many baby ducks yet. I just saw those, I saw a couple back there. But I don't see usually we have a bunch of families out here. Now I just see that one. Oh well, we'll catch them later. We'll come back. Let's go down to Lincoln Memorial. It's still under renovation. Another year. It's not going to be ready until next year, the 250th anniversary. I don't know what they call that, a sesquicentennial or something like that. I'm not really sure. It has some name. It's not bicentennial, bisesquicentennial, something like that. We should look that up. It's got to be a mouthful, that's for sure. Okay, we are down at the Lincoln Memorial. Let's swing up this ramp and get a little closer to it for you. Ka-chunk. Now over here on my right is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. You can see the black slab of marble over there. And then right back over here is the World War II Memorial. Now they have a special ramp right now because they're fixing the elevator. So to keep it ADA accessible, people in a wheelchair have to go up this ramp, which is quite long and tedious, but they can still get up there. That's going to be up for another year. Looking back, you see the Washington Monument and the U.S. Capitol. That's like 2.5, 3 miles away, the U.S. Capitol. It's actually a heck of a hike. It is not a simple walk. Korean War Memorial is down there. That one had two parts. They had the original Korean War Memorial, and then they added something just about a year ago, listing the names of the fallen. Let's cut over this way. I think we should go down to the river. Maybe. So over there is the Erickson Memorial. I think it's Erickson. And that is a memorial to the guy who invented the screw propeller. Yeah, that is his claim to fame. Inventor, and he was the designer of the Monitor and the Merrimack. Yeah, John Erickson died in 1889. Interesting, one of his proteges was Alfred Nobel, the guy who invented dynamite and of the Nobel Prize fame. He worked for him for a bit. Let's catch this bike path here. So this path is partially messed up because of this fence here. They're building a new seawall, but also a new sewage pipe to take sewage from upper Northwest and transport it without it going into the river, basically all the way down to the sewage treatment plant at Blue Plains. It's on the southern end of the city and it really smells awful. So it looks like they're doing some repair work on the seawall, and I think the new pipe is down here as well. Let's cut under this bridge. Now you may remember last winter a car drove off the Potomac Bridge. That was right over there into the water. You can see that up on the top there's still a crack in the railing right over there. And there's some crews about to go rowing and race back to Georgetown. Let's go by the volleyball courts and head into the Georgetown neighborhood. All right. These are the beach volleyball courts. These are open to the public, run by the Park Service. Not that busy right now, but after work, you're going to see a big crowd out here of people playing beach volleyball. I am absolutely no good at beach volleyball, so I just watch. Oh, they lost it. Now that over there is the Teddy Roosevelt Bridge. It is really beat up. It needs to be replaced. The city doesn't have the money. It's basically rusting away. It's Route 66 into Virginia. It's a pretty popular bridge. but it has seen better days. Over there's Memorial Bridge. It's gorgeous. And then this is very utilitarian. That is Teddy Roosevelt Island over there. You may remember I went out to show you the loneliest Christmas tree in Washington, D.C., which is out on Teddy Roosevelt Island, just down on this side. Let's go into the Georgetown neighborhood. Way down to your left, you see the spires of Georgetown University. That's Healy Hall, the administration building. Just over the Key Bridge, that's a bridge that basically plows through what was once Francis Scott Key's home. So they tore down his home and named the bridge after him. It was a good trade, I guess. Up on my right is the Watergate complex. It's actually many different buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 buildings. Only one of them was the Democratic headquarters during Nixon's time. And we'll cut down this path and sneak into Georgetown underneath the freeway. So down here is the boathouse where all the crews have their shells and their giant 8s. Lots of high schools and colleges have rowing teams in DC. What's this one? Yorktown High School. That's a Virginia high school. And I know my son's school rows here. My son's school was actually very good. They were like one of the best crews in the country last year. One of the top, I think they finished second overall in one of the big races. They definitely were top 5 rowing powerhouse last year. But I can't get my son to do it. He just doesn't want to do it. It's too much work, Dad. Oh well, such is life. This is the Washington Harbor complex. It's high-end offices, condos. Nancy Pelosi lives down here. This is the Swedish embassy. That's the Swedish ambassador's car right there. Cars that have a diplomatic tag and then 001 are the ambassador's car. So the ambassador drives a Suburban. All right, let's cut up into the city. Maybe we'll chunk. Maybe we'll dump the bike and walk a little bit. There's a bike rack with no spaces available. This is how it is during the day. At nighttime, there's no bikes, and at daytime, there's no bike spots to park. Everybody's still working. All right, let's cut across the road, try not to get killed. More or less successful. This is the Whitehurst Freeway above me. Keeps a lot of the commuter traffic out of Georgetown, but it does look urban and kind of ugly. But whenever they film a movie and they need something like this, some sort of urban feel, they'll come down to the Whitehurst Freeway. True Lies they filmed down here with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold and Bill Pullman and a bunch of others. It was a good movie, True Lies. Oof. You know, I just realized something. The problem with having a sandwich for lunch is that it's very difficult to get French fries, yeah? Nevertheless, we are near George, King of Falafel, right over there, that blue tent. And George's King of Falafel makes some really good fries. Let's drop in on George. Money from all over the world. French fries, huh? French fries and a Diet Coke. Yes, sir. So if you come to George's, you can leave a tip and sign your name on the tip. People have leave currency from all over the world. Indonesia, Qatar, Saudi, Japan, Bolivia, Egypt, Kuwait, Bolivia again. I don't think they have a Hong Kong dollar. I gotta bring a Hong Kong. There's Jordan. We'll see. Let's get these open up. There we go. Now we got something. Oh, they're hot and greasy. Much good. Okay, guys, that's a pretty day in, well, not quite May. It's end of April. We're gonna go home, get these videos, get these photos up online. If there's anything interesting going on the rest of the day, we'll pop out. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching. See you then.